It's time for another haul, which means we have a selection of the best gear and gadgets that have found their way to the channel over the last few weeks. And as always, I'll include links to everything featured in the video description below. This is the new Warrick screwdriver from James Brand Design, and like everything they do, this is a marriage of design, quality and practicality. It's made from anodized aluminium and it feels really nice in the hand, so much so that this would double up as a worry stone. It's under 4 inches long and weighs just 55 grams or just under 2 ounces, and it feels substantial without being heavy. The back end, which is secured with an O-ring, pulls away from the handle to reveal this drawer containing 4 quality Weeha bits, which are held in place magnetically, so there's no danger that they will fall out and get lost. The bits are standard 1/4 inch, so you can swap these out with a selection of your own choice if preferred, and they are held in place in the screwdriver with a super strong magnet. The shape provides for great grip with plenty of torque without the bulk of a fully rounded profile, and the smooth surfaces and round edges means that this could sit comfortably in your pocket or fit nicely in a compact EDC pouch. And I really do like this. I love the clean shape and the minimal branding and the easy grab lanyard, and the fact that this actually works really well. The only question mark here really is the price. At $85 or £90 in the UK, this becomes a bit of a niche product. But if you need to EDC or pocket carry a screwdriver that is compact, works well and looks this good, and price is not an issue, then this could be just what you're looking for. And I'm sure we'll see this again soon in one of my kits. The next one should come with an addiction warning. This is the Ratchet Ring from Project Ratchet, and it's one of the best examples of a fidget device I have come across, not least because it sits on your finger, making it instantly accessible at all times. It's extremely tactile with a satisfying click which you feel as well as hear, the result, we are told, of 3 years of engineering challenges and a successful crowdfunding campaign with over 800 backers. There are 2 main practical benefits of a fidget device like this. One is to improve focus. It seems there is a proven link between fidgeting and elevated focus, and the other is managing anxiety, which might otherwise trigger actions like nail biting, finger tapping or leg shaking. And having worn it over the last few weeks, I've come to really like it, and I'm beginning to miss it when I don't have it on. You can click it noisily or more quietly with single clicks, and in a variety of different ways. It's made from quality stainless steel, weighs in at 10 grams or 1/3 of an ounce, and it's available in several different finishes. This one has the black DLC coating with a machine finish, and this is showing no signs of scratches or wear even after a few weeks of use. And as for the price, this comes in around £140 or $180. Not cheap, but this is a high quality piece of engineered jewellery with a lifetime warranty. This is the Surevival Pen, and as I film this, it's been funded on Kickstarter. It's designed to escape, rescue and defend, as well as being a pen. It's made from aluminium and comes in a variety of finishes, including this matte black, and weighs in at a reasonable 40 grams or 1.4 ounces. The pen is a bolt action with a nice feel, and it uses an easy to get Parker Type G2 refill, and it has this nice grip. When it comes to escape or rescue from a vehicle or house, we have a tungsten carbide glass breaker built into the top of the pen, which given enough force will shatter toughened glass. And to ensure maximum force can be achieved, the tip of the pen is fully recessed to provide a flat surface for your thumb, giving you maximum grip and striking force, which makes a big difference. And when it comes to escape and rescue, this pen also includes a seatbelt cutter, and that's concealed within this substantial clip. And the idea here is that when sufficient force is applied when you slide a seatbelt into the pen clip, a cover here is forced back, revealing a sharp blade which cuts through the seatbelt. Now, I would be a bit nervous about using this clip on a pocket or say some webbing, just in case you pull too hard and end up cutting into it, although you do require quite a bit of force to reveal the blade. The bigger problem though is that you are only left with about an inch of usable pocket clip, which is not really practical enough, and also this pen sits higher as a result. So apart from the pocket clip, and in my view the rather ugly and oversized branding, this seems like a nicely made tactical pen which could also be applied in self-defense. Expect to pay around $40 to $60 on Kickstarter, with an expected future retail price of around $80. This is the Tau 2 mini power bank from Rolling Square. Now, as many of you will know, I'm a big fan of carrying a power bank, and they feature in nearly all of my Get Me Out of Trouble kits to supplement a failing phone battery. And good quality small power banks are hard to find, and so this Tau 2 is a welcome addition. Now, the original Tau power bank, which I have here, had some issues which made it hard to recommend. For a start, we had a keyring loop here which pulled away too easily and was rather flimsy. But the biggest problem was that this could only be charged via the bulky docking station, ideal for charging at home but not for when out and about. Now, the new version has a smaller footprint, although it is a bit thicker than the original, but it's still smaller than my AirPods Pro. And the capacity is increased from 1400 to 2000 milliamp hour, which should charge most phones to around 30%. The Tau 2 still comes with a docking station, albeit much smaller than the original, so the battery bank can always be kept charged and ready for use. But you can now also charge this version from any USB-C supply, so the dock is no longer essential to keep this charged on the go. To start charging the Tau 2, just tap it twice on the logo and the LED here pulses to confirm all is working. And then to allow this to be charged from a USB supply, tap it 4 times. Then we get 4 flashes from the LED to confirm that the output has now become an input, and that's really all you need to remember. To access the inbuilt cables, you just pull the keyring part away from the body, and then you have a USB-C cable as well as a lightning cable, which due to this unique design can also connect to micro USB for older devices. All in all, this is a big improvement on the original, and this is now a mini power bank which I can recommend. The price is $40 and it comes in this ice grey colour, or my personal preference, which is this mercury black. Rolling Square have also introduced their own magnetic anti-tangle cable, the InCharge M, and if you're a neat freak like me, then this is sure to appeal. It is a high quality durable USB C2C cable rated for 60-watt charging and 480 megabits per second data transfer. But the magic here comes from the fact that the cable is magnetic and attracts to itself, so you can quickly deploy it into use without the usual untangling, and then just as quickly put it away super neatly. Great for the coffee shop digital warrior and people on the move. This is available in 1 or 2 meter lengths, and I would opt for one which is a bit longer than you might expect to need, so you can just do this. In fact, the only downside I can really see with this cable is that it's a bit bulkier and a bit heavier than a standard cable. And as for the price, you can expect to pay around $30. Flashlight maker Sofirn have been upgrading their game lately, managing to find a good balance between features, quality and value. And their latest release is this one. This is the IF24, and it's a nice looking anodized aluminium flashlight or torch with a main light as well as a do-it-all side light. Now the IF24 looks very much like the IF23 at first glance, but it is in fact smaller and uses an 18650 battery instead of the bigger 21700 battery we see in the IF23. And crucially, the new model is much more straightforward to use, and that's thanks to this new 4-way switch we see here, which significantly simplifies the operation, which goes something like this. The first position we see here is a lock to rule out accidental activation. Then if we turn the switch, we have the main light, and a mix of press and hold or double clicking of the center switch here will get you from moonlight mode, which is ideal at 1 lumen, and then through low, medium and high, followed by 2000 lumen turbo, which can be directly accessed, something I always like to see. And then that is followed by a strobe function, and then an SOS for what it's worth, and then also a beacon, which I do actually quite like. And then another turn of the rotary switch puts this onto the side light with the center LEDs, which are color changing, and red and also red flashing are really useful, whereas the police blue and red flashing could get you into trouble. And then we have color changing, which is not at all useful in my book, and then it gets even stranger with various different modes, and most of these different modes can be altered in terms of the color as well. Now, unless I'm planning on opening a nightclub on the cheap, I don't really see the need for all this coloured stuff beyond red as a warning light. But if changing colours is your thing, then you can fill your boots with this light. Then a final turn of the rotary switch restores some common sense with a side light, and that's made up of 2 rows of LEDs positioned either side of those coloured ones. And this operates exactly the same way as the main light, which is a good idea to keep things simple. So we have a moonlight mode, then we have 3 light levels, followed by a blinding turbo mode, then we have that strobe, that SOS, and even we have a beacon. And I think that this white light is genuinely useful because it gives a broad spread of flat light, which is good enough to fill a room or light up a working area. And then we also have a magnetic base here, which helps when it comes to positioning the light. Charging is via USB-C, covered with a rubber flap, and there's also a basic battery level indicator light on the side. We have an IP rating of 66, so don't submerge this one, but rain will be fine. And then you also get a pocket clip, which is a bit flimsy. But other than that, there's not much to complain about here for your $50. I personally think this would be a great option to keep in your card love box or a breakdown kit. You have a beam when needed if you get stuck and need to find your way in the dark, a red flashing light for warning other motorists, and a flat light to light up an area when something needs fixing or a wheel needs changing. So we have a well featured and practical light that's easy to use and great quality, coming in at that great price. This is the Pathfinder Plus V2 mini tool from Ant Design, and Ant Design are a channel favourite when it comes to small EDC gear. And what we have here is a combination tool which consists of 2 different models and 3 finishes. And here I have the 2 models in titanium, both weighing the same at 16 grams, which is just over half an ounce. And this one here is the Alpha, and this one is the Beta. They're both the same size and both offer a bottle opener pry tool and a small nail file on the base, ruler markings on the back in both millimeters and inches, and arguably the most useful tool here, which is a small utility blade knife. And this is recessed and locked when being carried, and then when you want access to the blade, you push on the lock and slide it forward into one of 2 positions. And the quality of the design and tooling is immediately obvious, with the blade mechanism feeling super precise and also safe. Now there are 3 slots here for tritium tubes if that floats your boat, which can be specified when ordering. And the difference between the 2 versions is at the back of the tool. The Alpha here has a 1/4 inch hex driver, and there's no magnetic retention here, but it does work fine when applying a bit of pressure. Then on the opposite side we have a small pocket clip, which is nicely implemented and works well. And then we have a small hole here for a keychain right at the back. Now the Beta forgoes the driver, pocket clip and keychain hole, and instead incorporates a quick release keychain adapter with side lugs here, which enable detachment. And if you do plan to carry this on your keychain, then this is probably the best option, as it also keeps the tool more compact without the pocket clip. The tool is also available in brass and in this Damascus finish, which is a bit busy for my taste, although I know some people really like it. And the ones I have here are the full Monty with tritium tubes installed. Although I should point out that the Damascus finish does seem to reduce the effectiveness of the nail file. Now in the box you get some spare blades, some spare screws, a split ring and this rather nifty key ring with Allen key end to allow you to change the blade. All in all, as we've come to expect from Ant Design, we have a high quality, well-made and practical tool that, if laws allow, would make a perfect addition to your keyring or a compact kit. And as for the price, this goes upwards from $50. Those familiar with the channel may recognise this. This is the Muzen Wild Mini Bluetooth speaker, and I featured this some time back, and it's a retro tech military style speaker which is tiny but very substantial, as the whole thing is metal. And it sounds really great for its size. It is really quirky, but also great quality with loads of design detail, and I really like it. Apart from that is the micro USB port here, which is retro, but not in a good way. Well, Muzen have recently sent out this. This is a newer model for us to look at, and it's the Muzen Wild Jeep, and it follows the same DNA of the Wild Mini. It's metal and it's heavy at 830 grams or 1.8 pounds, and it's built like a tank and actually wouldn't look out of place in one either when you look at this military inspired retro tech. As you can see, it's much bigger than the Wild Mini and it costs about twice as much at around $150. And this time, as well as Bluetooth, we have a 3.5mm jack for an auxiliary socket and also an FM radio built in. Now, ironically, FM technology is a bit retro too, and in the UK was due to be phased out altogether in 2015 in favour of digital broadcasting, but has now been given a reprieve until 2030. Again, we have lots of detail here, which is impressive if you like the nostalgia association. And the sound quality is again very good, in fact much better than you'd think, although it can't compete with the similarly priced dedicated speakers from a raft of audio focused brands. You buy this one for the looks. The controls are simple. You have a rotary switch to select Bluetooth, and then auxiliary, and then radio, and then you have a volume control. Bluetooth connected easily and without fuss, and the battery life is quoted at around 10 hours for the radio and around 6 for use with Bluetooth. And as you can see, the detail extends to the radio dial, which glows like it used to do in the olden days, and you get a military style strap included, which fits in these over engineered sockets on the side. You also get rubber feet to cope with the weight, and this roof rack inspired frame around the top, which is for no practical purpose at all. You also get an aerial which plugs into the back when you need a signal boost, although this works fine with the stronger stations without it. And you also get a couple of cables included as well. Annoyingly though, charging is still via the micro USB like the Wild Mini, which I hoped they would have abandoned by now. I do like it, but that's mainly because I really like the ex-military aesthetic, and let's face it, this one is all about the looks. And if that does it for you, then you will be rewarded with ease of use and a really good sound for the size, and also great quality. I'll leave it there for this one, although we still have lots more gear to go through, so do look out for another haul video in the near future. In the meantime, I hope that was useful, and thank you as always for watching.